A lot of people have asked me to discuss the great Al Pacino. Al Pacino is 83 years old and his girlfriend is pregnant. The greatness of Al Pacino. Al Pacino is such an incredible actor, and he has been such an incredible actor for so long, and he has evolved, and his performances have evolved. He means so much to me. On the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, sometimes I talk a little bit more about Bobby D, Bob De Niro, who also just became a dad at 79. He's got 7 kids. He just had another kid. And Al Pacino's girlfriend is now 8 months pregnant. So Al Pacino, Big Al, at 83 is going to have a child. I do not know if Al Pacino has any other kids. Can you check that? I would imagine Al has some kids. Maybe not. If Al Pacino is becoming a first-time father at 83 years old, he's wackier than I even thought. And I say that with all due respect. You'll never get me. Okay, so Al has 3 adult children, and he's back in the sandbox. But when we talk about Al and we talk about first the performances, The Panic in Needle Park, The Godfathers, Dog Day Afternoon, Serpico, you could have retired. And then everything he's done as he's gotten older. I mean, Scent of a Woman is one of my favorite Al Pacino performances. There's so many. He means so much to me. Al Pacino means so much to me. Like I said, you'll never hear me disparage Al or Bob or Al, respectfully. But what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Al, you're 83. Bobby D, you're 79 years old. So now do they not only have in common that they are 2 of the greatest groundbreaking New York-based actors who have literally changed. They changed the game along with a bunch of other people. They changed acting. They changed what's attainable as an actor on film, literally. They rewrote the rule book and rewrote the rules of what you can do as an actor on screen. They came up together. They've known each other. Of course, they performed in The Godfather Part 2, not on screen together. And then they did Heat, and then they did a couple of other not-so-good movies together for the money, as they should. Because if you think that Al got rich off of Serpico, and Al got rich off of Dog Day Afternoon, you got another thing coming. That's not the point. They now have this in common. At 80, Bob is going to be 80 this year, and Al Pacino is 83. They're both, for those of you who don't have kids, you don't understand this. For those of you that do have kids, you do understand this. Do you understand how physically grueling, do you understand how, forget everything else, how physically grueling it is to have an infant? Of course they're going to have help. They should have help. Anybody that could afford help should get help. Anybody that could get help from a cousin, a next door neighbor, a grandparent, do not feel guilty in bringing in the second team if you have a kid. Do not think you have to do it on your own. There should be no shame to get help. So if you could afford help, or you have family that will help, or friends that will help, do it. But the fact, the irony, that the 2 of them are about to become new dads of infant children is so, it's so crazy to me. I don't understand. I'm never going to say anything disparaging about either one of them, but like, yo, what are you, you're skeeting? Like, maybe you get a vasectomy, maybe you pull out. I mean, what is wrong with you two? So now the conversations, and I'm no impressionist, but for those impressionists out there, run with this. The conversations between Al Pacino and Robert De Niro at like Daddy and Me classes, when they're in there with their like little, because that's what, you could take your 3-month-old to a Daddy and Me class. Can you imagine Al Pacino and Robert De Niro at the Daddy and Me class, or Al Pacino and Robert De Niro at the park, in Central Park on the swings, playing in the sandbox with their little 1-year-olds? Or like Bob's calling up Al because his new baby has an ear infection. He's like, oh yeah, she won't sleep. And Al's doing, I'm not an impressionist. I don't do Al, I do Bob a little bit. Yeah, I'm trying to go to sleep a little bit, Al. Like the two of them taking their kids to the zoo. Why? What is wrong with you? And again, just like I explained with De Niro, it does not make you a stick man to have a baby at 83 years old. It does not make you a coxman. It doesn't not make you a coxman. I've said it once, I've said it many times. The difference between a coxman, a stick man, and what Al Pacino and Bob are doing, it's very simple. Coxman, single. Coxman don't get tied down. You see Leonardo's pushing 50. He's still on them yachts. Judge it all you want. He's still on them yachts. He ain't getting off them yachts. You see Pistol Pete Davidson. You see the pistol. You see what the pistol is doing. You see Drake. You saw what Jack Nicholson was doing in them streets. You saw what the great Milton Berle was doing in them streets. You saw what Derek Jeter was doing in those streets of New York. Those are stickmen. Al Pacino, Bob De Niro, listen, I'm sure they've had their share of many women, but as far as I know, like I said, Bob De Niro seems like a serial relationship person. He's been married. He's had long-term girlfriends. That doesn't make you a coxman. That does not make you a stickman. Al Pacino, fertile. 83. He's still got that. He's still got them good swimmers. And why shouldn't he? You know the kind of, the grit, the artistic grit, the need to create. Maybe that's the key to life. Maybe that is the key to life. You see Jack Nicholson, they rolled him out during the playoffs. 85, looking like shit. But you put a camera in front of Jack Nicholson, let me tell you something. Action. I just appreciate that all these guys are alive and doing their thing. I appreciate that Mick Jagger's alive doing the thing. I appreciate that the remaining Rolling Stones are alive. I appreciate that Al and Bob are alive, that Jack Nicholson is alive, that Robert Duvall is alive, that Samuel Jackson, Morgan Freeman, not that they're that old. They always get on the Rolling Stones. How great would it be if Jimi Hendrix was alive performing an acoustic set at 80, however old he would be now, at Radio City Music Hall? They're like, oh, why Bruce Springsteen? Why is he doing it? How great would it be if Janis Joplin was alive? Enjoy him while we can. You don't like watching Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones? Don't go. But do not hate that they're still out there doing the damn thing. That keeps you alive. That keeps you fertile. That keeps your fuck style buck wild. That's why these guys are continuing to make babies. Those kids will be well taken care of. People say it's selfish. It's unorthodox. Those kids will be loved and well taken care of. Don't come to me ever thinking you're going to get anything but love, respect, appreciation, and adoration for both new parent Robert De Niro and new parent Al Pacino. Moving on.